Hi, we're the Data Diggers. We're going to be exploring what contributes to a billionaire's net worth. My name's Veronica. This is Christiana. That's Major. And that's Thomas.
Everyone wants to be successful, to be a part of the top 1%. But what about the top 0%? Being a billionaire in today's world means having complete financial power and autonomy. This is a luxury that many people don't have. The cost of living has increased by about 20% over the past years. This has widened the imbalance of wealth in our world. So studying the demographics and qualities that make someone a billionaire is really important knowledge to gain as it can be helped pass down to others. The focus of our study is looking at how billionaires' company relationship, region in which they are located, industry sector, and the year in which the company founded contributes to someone's billionaire status. The data for our project was got from the Corgus Dataset project. They used the Forbes World Billionaire list from 1996 to 2014, and then that data was bolstered by the scholars at the Peterson Institute for International Economics.
So the first thing we sort of had to do was tidy up our data. So that started by going ahead and removing a lot of the duplicated names. Names like Bill Gates were mentioned a couple of times. We went ahead and just kept the first one with the row that had the year with their highest net worth. And then we sort of had to group up and clean up a lot of our columns. So for example, company sector and company relationship, we went ahead and created roughly 10 or 11 umbrella terms. And these were terms like finance that we sort of made sure to like keep as the bigger one. We used terms like finance and hedge fund to sort of go under it, umbrella terms. And then we also just converted the billionaire's net worth from billions to their net worth in dollar units to just make it visually better. The demographic slide on the left is that of age distribution. We can see that it's sort of condensed around 60. The really big peak that you see at 0 is that it was actually inherited. The one on the right is number of millionaires by gender. We can see that there's definitely a lot more males than females, and there's also just 2 married couples. The demographics of inherited versus non-inherited wealth. The really big peak you see on the left is the non-inherited. They made it themselves. And then as we go to the right, we see the different ways that you can inherit it, either by father, third generation, spouse, widow, fourth generation, or fifth generation, or longer.
Okay, so this first one is a box plot showing the number of billionaires per company relation type. So as you can see, founder is the most common relation type with 988, followed by heir, and then employees, the least common with just 2. So this shows that, as expected, those at the top of the command chain, like founder and CEO, are more likely to become billionaires, whilst those lower down, like employees and directors, are far less likely. Then this next visualization is a box plot showing the 10 countries with the most billionaires. As you can see, the US is far and away the leader, followed by China in second, and then the UK in 10th. So looking at this list of countries, it's clear that countries with the highest GDPs, like US and China, tend to produce the most billionaires. This next visualization is a box plot showing the year that the companies of the respective billionaires were founded. This includes companies that they founded themselves, as well as companies that they work for. So there's a clear left skew here, with most of the companies being founded towards the end of the 20th century, and in particular, 1990 is the decade in which the most companies were founded. And finally, this box plot shows the sectors that produce the most billionaires. Other, which includes miscellaneous companies that didn't really fall into a category, produces the most, followed by finance and then tech. Then food and farming and transportation have produced the least. So you can see that white-collar sectors like finance, tech, and real estate tend to produce more billionaires than blue-collar sectors like farming and transportation.
And now moving on to interpreting models and conclusion. So the 15 additive linear regression models that we started with are just different combinations of the 4 variables that we included in our research question. We've narrowed it down to the 3 models with the highest adjusted R-squared pictured here. Model 6 involves 2 variables, company relationship, and then sector of the company. Model 13 involves 3 variables, company relationship, sector of the company, and the company's found date. And then Model 2 only involves 1 variable, company relationship. Now, because all of our top models, including the model with only 1 variable, Model 2, include company relationship, which would be like the CEO of the company, founder, heir, this variable correlates to the net worth the most because all of our top models include it. And also on the next slide, you'll see which company relationship correlates to high net worth the most. And that would be founder. So the company relationship with the highest net worth is the founder. The company sectors with the highest net worth are retail and technology. And the more recent the company was founded, the more money the billionaire will likely earn from the company. But the company or the country of citizenship with the highest net worth, we're actually not sure. As shown in a previous visualization, most billionaires are actually from the United States or hold citizenship in the United States. However, it's not necessarily correlated with a high net worth. It's just correlated to billionaire status. So some ways to improve the study or further research. Our R-squared values were low, indicating the need for a refined study and the actual variation within the variables. We're studying correlation, not causation. We're not sure if these variables cause the high net worth. And also studying billionaires and their demographics past 2014 is needed because of modern day tech and entrepreneurship strategies. They have changed. So thank you.